All right, Liz, so I'm with you today, and we're talking about just how to honestly have a good attitude no matter what's going on. There's like, it's in our culture, I think we want to talk about that there's no like one simple fix to have a better attitude. But what's one thing that you definitely know will make you shift your perspective? What is that thing?
Yeah, I think it's just being intentional. You know, we live in a society where we've created negativity to be a norm. You know, you go on social media, and we all know you're just showing the best side of your life. You know, nobody, I mean, there's some people that are really vulnerable and transparent on social media that do post hard times, but you don't look at your phone and say, oh, I'm going to post this picture because I'm crying, because I'm really stressed in my exam.
I've definitely done that.
You know, you'll post it on your story, but you're not posting it as a post.
Right.
So, you know, the news will show majority of the negative stuff. There's, you know, some things that are positive, but we've created that norm, and, you know, that's not how it's supposed to be. Problems and all that is expected in life. You know, we live in a life where nothing's going to go the way that we want it all the time, but then that's when gratitude comes in.
Gratitude.
So being perspective and just being thankful and being intentional of, okay, if everything is the worst that it can be, well, what's one thing I can be thankful for? You know, do I have food in my fridge? You know, I'm under a roof, I have my home, I have my family, am I loved? So there's a lot of things that you can be thankful for, and that thankfulness really keeps you grounded. Because then even then you get to happiness versus joy, right?
Totally.
You're not always going to be happy. You know, if there's a family member that passed away, or, you know, failed an exam, or got in an accident, you're not going to be happy, but you can be joyful. And through joy comes gratitude of what am I thankful for when I feel like I can't be thankful for anything. So.
Totally. A lot of us, I mean, day to day, we just get wrapped up in the things we're doing, and we lose the larger perspective. That's something that will pretty much always happen when you're in it, when you're in the weeds, doing your work, going to school, going to practice. You're just in the day to day, doing what you need to do, and you lose sight maybe of the big picture. And it's really easy to do that. Everybody does that, no matter what stage of life they're in. At some point you're going to have to regain your perspective, and it's not something that's just a one shot fix all and then you'll always have a good perspective. No, it's you need to constantly come back to it, and that's why gratitude is a great muscle to build. In being kind of an antidote to problems that come up, to your attitude. I mean, for example, if my fiance broke up with me tomorrow for some reason, it would be very hard in that moment for me to find anything to be grateful for. I would feel like I'm losing a piece of my identity.
Yeah.
But then how do you then, Liz, with that example, it's a pretty big example, but what would be the first step to you finding that gratitude? What would you kind of think?
Yeah, I think just hearing your story, I mean, thankfully it's not true, but, you know, it's part of the process, and I'll come back to your answer, but just thinking about it, it's part of the process. You know, when we set goals, and we talked about smarter goal setting, part of it is measurable steps. So as you're measuring things, that's what you want to be thankful for. You don't want to be thankful that something's over, or you don't want to be thankful once you accomplish it, or, you know, you graduate school, you open up your business, you get in a relationship. It's like, what can I be thankful for in the process, you know, in the journey? And that's where gratitude is so important. It's like, you know what, I may not have that 10K in my savings account that I really want, but I'm thankful that, you know, I have everything I need. You know, I just bought groceries, or I just filled up my gas. Like, that's what being thankful, it just grounds you in that moment, even though you're not where you want to be, but you can enjoy a little bit more instead of just thinking, man, you know, I only have blank in my bank account when I want to do it. So it's really easy to go into that negative spiral, but when you're thankful in the process, then it just makes it so much more enjoyable, and then that's what gives you perspective. So using gratitude and goal setting is perfect, because you're able to be thankful throughout the journey.
Totally.
And going back to yours, I mean, being thankful and gratitude, you can use that as an opportunity. It's like, okay, well, this happened, you know, my boyfriend broke up with me.
Yeah.
Well, look at the opportunity. Well, that might be an opportunity for you to grow now as a person. You can, you know, invest in yourself. What do you need? Maybe go work out, maybe go meet new friends that you need in your life, or you can, now it's an opportunity to focus on your school or your job, or maybe you can focus now on your family. So with gratitude comes opportunity.
And how did you develop this mentality, Liz? What, if you remember the process, just like take us through that journey a little bit, because not everybody has this. If something really like tragic or something happens to you, and you're just like, I can't think of a single thing that I'm happy about. How do you have that attitude of gratitude?
Yeah.
Truly, like.
Definitely takes practice, but when I was young, my dad always told me, he's like, hey, like somebody has it worse than you right now. And that's not to underestimate your problem and your situation, like definitely acknowledge what's going on, but then you can always humble yourself. And through humbling yourself comes gratitude. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, I broke my arm, but at least I can write, and I didn't break my thumb and an arm.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, okay, well, this can be worse. It's not, it's bad, but it's not worse.
It's not, worse.
So
right.
that's always something that I intentionally was like, okay, well, let me acknowledge what's going on, but then it could be something else, but I'm thankful for what it is and what instead of what it could have been.
Totally. I think something you touched on there, gratitude is a gateway to greater and more accurate perspective. It just opens up a whole world of, oh, wait, it's not just all about me and my self-absorbedness, because that's the category I fall into. When I have a problem come up, or I'm reminded that, oh no, there's something there's a result I haven't gotten to yet, it becomes like a very me. I'm self-absorbed in my own little world of problems. But gratitude helps me open that up and be like, oh wait, I'm just a little human in the world doing things. And it's okay. Like, there are people doing worse than me. There are people doing other things, not having to do with anything that I'm doing. And I have a family who loves me. You can always hang on something, right?
And that's such a habit, you know. I mean, when you talk about gratitude, you go into your self-talk, you go into creating the habit of being thankful. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you're just a jolly, happy person. It's like, well, I'm also intentional about it. You know, I'm intentional about finding the positives in a situation. I'm intentional about finding at least one thing I can be thankful for.
Yeah.
And it goes more than just, oh, I'm thankful for the weather. Or I'm thankful that it's sunny outside. It's like, no, like, I'm genuinely thankful that I'm a loving person. You know, I'm really thankful for my friends that allow me to practice my communication.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really thankful for my sport that allows me to grow in different areas. You know, when you practice gratitude, you now get into that gratitude affecting your mental state, your physical state, your psychological state. It's everything. And there's tons of studies. I mean, you can look at Harvard making studies on this. I mean, even just with the holidays, it's, you know, there's a study, and this is the most recent thing I heard, that people who decorate for Christmas are more likely to be happier.
Really?
You know, so it's like even that, you know, so gratitude is a big deal, but it takes time and it takes a habit of just like, okay, this is going on. What is just one thing I can be thankful for? And at the end of this, I'll share an exercise that we can practice, but you know, through the habit, it's your self-talk. You know, instead of saying, oh man, you know, I failed an exam, I'm unworthy. It's like, wait, no. You know, I did fail an exam, but I'm thankful that I'm at school, and I'm thankful that I have all these TAs and these tutors that I can go and learn and fix my mistakes. There are two different self-talks. One is constructive, one is deconstructive, but one is also more thankful for the opportunity of that situation.
Yeah, I really love what you said there, because gratitude, right, is something we practice, but it also has to be really genuine. I think a lot of us have heard, oh, we have to be grateful for things, and then they're like, I'm grateful that I have a family. I'm grateful that I have
Like, there has to be
friends.
some emotion when you're being thankful.
There has to be emotion behind that, and to develop it, that's how, I mean, Liz, obviously, you've gotten so good at having a grateful attitude that you've really been able to develop it. But one thing about gratitude is it has to be emotionally connected and genuine in order for you to feel the positive effects of gratitude. And so really getting specific with what you're grateful for can do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a quote, there's the attitude of gratitude. It's kind of cringy and cliche, but
I
it
say it
is
all the
true.
time.
You know, it's like when you change your attitude is going to change your perspective.
Yeah.
And your perspective is going to change how you act, whether it's with other people or with yourself. And when you get into the self-talk cycle of your self-image and your actions and your results, and gratitude stems in that. Gratitude plays a role in what you think and what you say,
Totally.
and what you do.
Absolutely. I love that. I know your gratitude comes from a place of just being appreciative of the things in your life. I know myself and a few other entrepreneurs that I've followed and listened to, they have a really interesting perspective on where their gratitude comes from. And if you're somebody who's maybe struggling to think of things to be grateful for beyond like my family, my friends, my dog, and all this, everything that kind of feels maybe like it's not doing the thing for you to make you really feel grateful, you can always just think about how you have one life.
Yeah.
You have one life to live, and other people have it very different than you, and you probably know some people in your life where you're like, man, I'm so glad that's not me right now. Or, you really love your dog, you really love your little sister, you really love somebody in your life, and to think about the opposite of not having them in your life can make you grateful right now for having them in your life.
Yeah.
You have your dog. Your dog is in good health. You can specifically name your dog when you go to write down what you're grateful for. I'm thankful for my dog, Scooby, being healthy and alive. I'm grateful for my little sister being here and alive. And also then thinking through the perspective of maybe there was something challenging that happened to them, and they overcame something. That is a great place to start getting into that, like, I'm grateful. Really,
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Genuinely, I'm grateful.
I mean, just like you said, just
mentality.
being appreciative of what you have, and that starts from the morning.
Yes.
I can wake up and say, oh, I'm really thankful for a new day. I'm already putting myself in a state of gratitude where, okay, no matter what happens, like, it's a new day. Yesterday is gone, today is here, like, tomorrow's not promised. And when you, like, it is true, tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah.
A lot of people, unfortunately, pass away in their sleep or different things.
Right.
So for us to underestimate the gift of today, that's
Yeah.
where gratitude really comes from. Is like, I'm so thankful for this new day, no matter what happens, like, I am thankful.
Yeah.
And that's such a whole other type of mindset to have, and to be appreciative of, waking up. It's like, I'm appreciative that I can see. That's one thing too, is being appreciative of your five senses.
Yeah.
And it might be really hard. You can always say like your family and your friends, but it's like, I'm thankful for my sight, thankful for that I can listen. I'm thankful that I can taste, these yummy gummy bears, or I'm thankful
Yeah.
that I can smell the roses or the rain. Once you get into your senses, and it's like a whole other thing, is you're just so thankful for everything. But yeah, being appreciative of what you have is really good to practice gratitude.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Liz. I think this has given us a lot to reflect on, but you had an activity for us to do here at the very end. So can you share that?
Yeah, and it's super simple. Just at the end of the day, take a couple minutes, probably 5 minutes, to just write down 5 things that you're thankful for that day, and get actually more specific. Don't just say, oh, I'm thankful for my couch. It's like, okay, I'm sure you're thankful for the materialistic things, but generally, what are you thankful for? I'm really thankful for that hard conversation that I had with my friend about us moving to different cities for college, and I'm super thankful for that. Or I'm really thankful that, I got the opportunity to spend some time with my parents. I'm really thankful that I got to learn about my plant and how to make it thrive. Or I'm really thankful just for something that I learned, that I experienced, that was a challenge or not. That's what's good, is when you're actually thankful and you think about and you reflect on your day. And then, the next morning you wake up and look at the 5 things that you're thankful for the next day, or what you wrote the night before, and you're already thankful. You wake up, you look at those 5 things, you're already starting your day with gratitude.
Yeah.
There's different ways. You can probably spend 3 minutes at night writing it down, spend 2 minutes in the morning reading it. But having that practice in your day, that's how you develop the habit of gratitude. End your day with gratitude. You can write it down, or you can just look at this roof when you're laying down, use your fingers. What are 5 things that you're thankful for? Same thing the next day. What are you thankful for? So when you intentionally being in a state of gratitude, it becomes a habit, and then it becomes part of who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, you're just such a great example of that, Liz. So you did a great job just doing those things yourself, and you're really exemplifying it. So yeah, let's go ahead and take some time, 5 minutes, to write down 5 things that we're grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And specifically. Great.
Thank you.